Hello, welcome. This is Viewfinders from Framerate Technologies. We're here with Trent Blackett for our first episode. Trent is with E.M.T. Trent, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, just briefly?
Thank you, Vaughn. I'm the founder of E.M.T. To my knowledge, the world's first multidisciplinary law, M&A and investment firm for the American, Australian, entertainment, media and technology sectors. I lived in California for 15 years, running a business with 4 American colleagues called Raw Asia Pacific, principally focused on Australian talent who were achieving great things in North America, and then switched gears and decided to start help the Americans with respect to their Australian and Asia Pacific initiatives. And now I live in both worlds and both communities, and sitting here with you live to where in Palm Beach, Florida.
How does star power overlap with consumer awareness and product awareness? And how does that overlap with the work you do at E.M.T?
It's something we actually focus our entire business on. It's the impact. It can be enormous if well used, to the extent that there is deep authenticity between the meaning of the product, be it consumer product, physical, digital, or otherwise, to the relevant star, and sort of the cut through to sales. If you sort of historically look at the interrelationship between authenticity and sales, it is absolutely the key driving force. And so I think it's very, very important, as I said, if done well, but most don't do it well.
So let's talk briefly about authenticity. We're in a world now where AI is challenging everyone's sense of authenticity. Recently, creative artist agency teamed up with YouTube and Google to identify celebrity deepfakes and to sort of police that system. That, of course, was a while back. It was in the last year and a half. But how does the deepfake and authenticity discussion happen in a way that's constructive and positive for the industry? And how do you see that working out?
Yeah, it's great to see them just get so ahead of the curve and very, very early. I mean, I think that deal was done early 2023 or thereabouts. Sort of there's 2 elements to it, in sort of the protection of sort of the celebrity's brand, if you will, but also, opportunistically seeking deals. If they can essentially be the definitive ethical repository of the rights, it allows them to actually get into the right deals, and also, obviously not being breached as well, which is huge. I mean, that being said, though, it's only, a sort of 18-month-old system that's sort of evolving every day. There are a lot of people out there that are simply just opportunistically doing the wrong thing. So for those that are actually doing the right thing with the legitimate rights, the opportunities are enormous.
So when it comes to AI deepfakes, particularly of celebrities, and I don't know if deepfakes going to end up being the word we use, but it's the word we use now, I think most people understand. When you have a copy or a proxy of a celebrity or someone famous, and it's official and it's licensed and all that. So what is the practicality of that? And in terms of how practical is it for us to expect that this can be something that's extremely valuable, or will it devalue talent, I guess?
Yeah, enormous practical benefits. And there are so many substreams of what you just said. Like, for example, I just had lunch in San Francisco with Doug Barry from, a company that's doing holograms. For example, that done well, again, huge opportunities. Other technology companies that are, essentially in sort of the proxy mode, allowing essentially, converse with others at once, such that the technology actually understands how they think. The proxy element is in my opinion, like the most exciting component, because it's the classic sort of, pre-AI, 20, 30 years ago, statement, I wish I could be sort of cloned and sort of be in 2 places at once. That is in turn actually providing some very significant opportunities that were previously not there.
So when it comes to the AI deepfakes, I think if we turn our focus to legacy performers or talent who's deceased and working with the states, how do you see that playing out, and really where the value can be dug out of those opportunities using technology? And I think specifically we're talking right now about this AI technology, this massive computing technology to be able to duplicate, create proxies, and essentially copy the talent and bring people back to life, for lack of better words. How do you see that kind of working, and where can the value be extracted?
Again, it comes sort of back to the rights holders. A lot of those estates now themselves actually have the big agents and the big managers, and they have very, very sophisticated attorneys and others thinking about both their rights protection as well as the opportunities. I think it's actually, frankly, just going to make everyone's lives a lot easier. The opportunities, for them to, both inbound and outbound, to be on the defense, but be on the offense. I think they're going to be one of the greatest beneficiaries, frankly, of these developments. Equally, though, the requirement for them to probably sort of protect base camp is going up and up and up and up and up. There are estates, won't mention any, but that have, less representation and less sophistication. I think they're going to suffer for a bit, but they'll come good in time. But probably even more so than talent that are alive, sort of the deceased estates, if you will, could be real leaders in this space, that sort of from a beneficiary perspective.
When it comes to these sorts of factors, and maybe particularly with talent negotiations or product negotiations, where do you see things getting held up, or do you see things being held up? Do you see friction from this, or do you think that the deal flow will increase and, create more value in the system as this starts to progress and develop into something that's very, very practical and usable and valuable, as we've been discussing?
I think if you sort of fast forward 5 years, 10 years, anytime there's new technology or new sort of trends or fads that roll in, I think the volume of opportunities sought, between sort of the consumer product world, the technology world, and the talent world, is going to be literally in our generation like never seen before. There'll be, on a multiple of hundreds or thousands of new stuff that rolls in, but it's going to take the industry broadly to just have systems that just get rid of all the noise, because the noise has already arrived. There's so much coming through the pipe. Even in our small firm, which is, in 3 countries, we can't even keep up with the inbound.
And really, to wrap it up, there might be people listening who are new to this space, new to entertainment, media, technology, talent management, and production. What is something people should really be thinking about and prioritizing as they consider the new world of technology and how it interfaces with entertainment and media and talent?
I think as much as people can get distracted by the excitement, the technology, new benefits that have arrived, I still think it's best literally to go back to the core. Front load 80% of your thinking and your resources to literally interrelationship between what you're trying to sell, be it physical or digital, and the talent, and then move into sort of the innovation world second. Don't do it the other way around.
So what you're saying is more of a tool to execute.
Tool to execute, but not a place to start.
Right, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Trent.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is Viewfinders from Framerate Technologies. Thanks for listening.